Fios One News, nighttime.
Hello, I'm Mario Bosquez in for Megan Vega. This is Fios One News, nighttime. Our top story tonight, a big mistake by Newark City Hall. Many residents were shocked to find themselves in a list of delinquent taxpayers published in a newspaper. The legal notice is typical government procedure, but this time the city fouled up by sending the list to the press too early. Fios One News reporter Christy Duffy has the story.
They should be going towards the police department.
The printing of taxpayers' names is a legal step that Newark and other cities are obligated to take as part of the accelerated tax sale process.
Sparks Fios One News.
TSA workers at Honolulu Airport may face the same scrutiny because of similar allegations of racial profiling there. Still to come, some area filling stations found to bring a fast one on motorists. The investigation into the sale of lower standard gasoline just ahead on Verizon's Fios One News.
With Verizon Fios.
Border. Welcome back. Are you sure that you're getting what you pay for at the pump? Several area gas stations are deceiving customers by selling them lower grade fuel. Fios One News reporter Barb Consiglio has more from Edison.
After random octane Edison, Barb Consiglio, Fios One News.
Gas stations that are found to be selling low-octane fuel will have to pay a fine of up to $250 to $1,500 for their first offense and up to $5,000 for any subsequent offenses. It's time now for your forecast on the fives. Our meteorologist John Heyman is keeping an eye on things in the Fios Weather Center.
Well, Mario, when we have clear skies and light winds overnight, that means cool temperatures, and a lot of us...
Welcome back. At the time of year when people and celebrities are feeling the most charitable, working in more than 150 countries, one organization has saved more children's lives than any other with the help of donations. Fios One's Christina Baer went to one of UNICEF's biggest celebrity events of the season to find out why they feel it's important for them to get involved.
Fios One News.
For more information on how you can be involved or donate, log on to unicefusa.org. It's time now for your forecast on the fives. Our meteorologist John Heyman is keeping an eye on things in our Fios Weather Center.
Well, Mario, after a mild note...
Finally, in this half hour, the holidays can be a sad time for hearing-impaired children who cannot experience Christmas bells and other sounds of the season. But
So what do you want for Christmas?
Santa in Colorado is breaking through that barrier. Some tots from a Denver elementary school with mild to profound hearing loss gave their wish list to a special Santa at a mall. And this Santa can communicate with the kids by signing. He tells the children who ask that he learn to use the language, hand sign language, from two of his elves who are deaf. The kids all signed to him. They were good this year. That does it for this edition of Fios One News. I'm Mario Bosquez in for Megan Vega. Thanks for watching. Remember, we are your local source for news, weather, and sports. So keep it right here on Fios One. We are only on Verizon. John, thank you. And now to our top story tonight. A 13-year-old boy's home video game is apparently hacked and a hateful message is left behind. Now another teen from his school is facing charges. Fios One News reporter Holly Hare tells us the victim's family is calling it a case of cyberbullying. Well, Danny is now being homeschooled because of this. His father says the school district doesn't do enough to stop bullying. No one at the school was able to comment today. School was closed for the Jewish holiday. A Long Beach man has been arrested, accused of driving drunk after crashing into a tree. Police say 40-year-old Paul Levesque lost control of his car while driving on the southbound side of the Meadowbrook State Parkway last night. He was treated for minor injuries. No one else was injured in the crash. Levesque is now facing DWI charges and other traffic violations. A Valley Stream woman is facing drug charges following a traffic stop. Police say that when they pulled 24-year-old Diana Alejandria over for a traffic violation, they smelled marijuana coming from the car. Authorities say they found about 25 grams of the drug. Alejandra has been charged with criminal possession of marijuana and other traffic violations. 23-year-old Justin Collier is under arrest, charged with robbery. Police say Collier robbed a Capital One bank in Rocky Point earlier this month. Investigators say he and another man went into the bank on Route 25A and demanded cash from the teller. Collier is scheduled for arraignment at First District Court in Central Islip tomorrow. Welcome back. Coming up this weekend, Manhattan will become the latest city to experience a slut walk. International protests erupted back in January when a Toronto police officer made an inappropriate comment, effectively saying women could avoid being raped by not dressing provocatively. FiOS 1 News reporter Kim Lengel met with some of the women who not only plan to walk, they're also organizing the movement.
Close to 50
to reclaim our sexuality.
FiOS 1 reporter Kim Lengel will be covering the event in Manhattan. Nearly 6,000 marchers are expected in Union Square. It's time now for your forecast on the fives. Our meteorologist John Heyman is keeping an eye on things for us in our FiOS Weather Center. Hi, John. Welcome back. A special education teacher has turned her passion for baking into a business that's growing. And as FiOS 1's Jessica Fregoso explains in this week's Long Island Business News Report, the entrepreneur dreams of one day owning her own facility and giving students with special needs an opportunity to gain job skills.
This pumpkin bread is fresh right out of the oven. It's one of Darcy's delights.
Welcome back. Well, is the economy finally turning around? And are jobs really coming back? Well, some economists are saying that the November unemployment report issued by the federal government today is encouraging.
All year, people have been standing in line at job fairs before the sun comes up, looking for anything to make tomorrow a little brighter.
If you don't have a job, you don't eat. So, I really need this.
Today, the optimist will wonder if we reached a turning point. The Labor Department says the U.S. economy added 120,000 jobs in November. That's about what the experts expected, but much more. Impressively, the unemployment rate dropped from 9 to 8.6%. The rate hasn't been that low since March 2009.
Despite some strong headwinds this year, the American economy has created in the private sector jobs for the past 21 months in a row.
The less optimistic will say the jobless rate fell because thousands of frustrated Americans simply stopped looking for work, and millions who lost their jobs during the downturn still haven't found new ones.
Keep in mind, it's 150,000 jobs that you need to be adding every single month just to break even with the population growth. And you want to see 300,000 plus consistently for months at a time.
Wall Street seemed happy enough with the November numbers, but stock gains were measured, not explosive like earlier in the week. And no matter what happens with the U.S. job market, the stock market can't shake its concern that something ugly could be heading this way from overseas. German Chancellor Angela Merkel said today the European debt crisis won't be solved in one fell swoop. In a global economy, that means the forecast for America could still be gloomy.
One cautionary note, and analysts say the drop in the unemployment rate is somewhat deceptive because it was spurred in part by people who have simply dropped out of the job market altogether. Up next, it's one of our area's biggest celebrity events of the season, a who's who from the world of Hollywood. But it's also one of the biggest fundraisers. Entertainment reporter Christina Baird tells us all about the annual UNICEF Snowflake Ball when Verizon's FiOS 1 News returns.
Christina Baird, FiOS 1 News.
For more information on how you can be involved or donate, log on to unicefusa.org. It's time now for your forecast on the fives. Our meteorologist John Heyman is keeping an eye on things in our FiOS Weather Center.
Well, Mario,